thank you once again for tuning in. We'll just go straight ahead to our first guest, Mr. Kennedy Mathias. Welcome to the show.
Hello, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today. And we have Channelle. You look so pretty today. You look gorgeous. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. So, Kennedy, would you like to tell us a bit more of what you do?
Well, I'm a writer.
A writer.
Slash a poet. Very much a poet.
Mm-hmm.
And very much a writer as well.
So, what inspired you? When did you actually start writing? What inspired you to actually start writing? I mean, I've tried writing myself, and I've tried writing like stories, imaginary stories, and I'd say they were quite good, but I wouldn't say they're as good as your work. I've seen a few of your works, and you've actually wrote a song for an artist that I know personally, and they were very strong words. What actually inspired you to start writing?
It all comes from when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
My dad, when I was young, I think I was 5 years old or 6, and my dad passed away. And I always had a message behind me. I wanted to say something.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was a very well-off man, and there's so much that happened then, and I wanted to be like him, you know. And I was looking up to my mom, and I'm thinking she's doing the job of raising me.
Yes.
I've got a twin brother. So.
Oh, so you're a twin?
Yeah.
Oh,
twin.
wow. Do you look exactly alike?
No, we're very different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I was looking up to my mom, and I was feeling sorry for her because she was working really hard for us, you know. And I promised myself one day the whole world is gonna know about my mom. One day the whole world is gonna know about the struggle that she's had to go through to get me and my twin brother going, and to educate us and everything else. So that was a promise from a young age, that I wanna, you know, that even though dad has passed away, there's still gonna be me, my twin, and my mom. We're still gonna rise up, you know. And so that was always inside me, you know, to speak about things like that. And then when I grew up a little bit, I started spending a lot of time writing, you know, at home, and I used to just write different quotations and stuff, and my mom used to come up at night and look at them, and I'd be feeling very shy.
Oh.
Yeah, and I don't know, it was just a calling, I think. It was just a calling.
A calling?
Yeah, like for me to write about something. I was very moved by the events that happened in my childhood.
Yes, yes.
And when I was 13, I started writing a lot more. It was just as if it was an addiction. So
it became an addiction to actually write your thoughts.
I kept on writing again and again all the time. And one day, this is how it happened when I realized I can proper write. I was in high school, and this girl was always looking at me and, like, you know, feeling me and all that stuff. You know, she saw, she showed me a little booklet of all these poems she had about me, and when I saw that, I was like, you know what, I want to write back. I want to write something beautiful about her as well. Just to say something back. And I wrote something. She loved it. I showed it to my friends, and was like, wow, Ken, can you really write something? And I was like, I don't know, I just wrote something. Now, after that, the very first thought for me was, I gotta talk something about my mom.
Yeah.
This was a promise from a young age. It was always about my mom.
Wow, your mom must have been very dear to you.
Yeah, she's always very dear. Yeah. So it stayed in my head that, you know, I need to write something for my mom.
Yeah.
This is the moment. Like, I've just been given a moment now. You know. So I wrote a poem to my mom the same day, and I went home very excited to show it to her. And when I got home, I showed it to her, and my mom was like, "Wow, this is really deep.
She was very impressed.
Yeah, and I think from there on, life carried on, you know.
Yeah, and then writing just sort of became a habit to you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I achieved what I wanted to achieve.
Yes, you achieved. Oh, that's very great.
Yeah.
So we've heard that you wrote a book. Although we're gonna show it on the screen right now.
Yeah.
There it is. Tell us a bit more about this book. What's in there? What?
It's called
Why should we read this book?
You should always read everything about it.
That's true.
It's called Mark My Words But You Can.
You seem quite deep.
The book
is it
is
your life
deep.
story? Is it a biography?
No, I'm just like, the whole book has so much going on in it.
Yes.
So I'm just trying to see how am I going to explain about this book, because there's so much in it.
I guess you have to have a read to actually know what's inside it, because it seems like there's some interesting facts in there.
Yeah, there's hell a lot of beautiful, beautiful things inside it. I mean, I was talking about love, peace, freedom. I wanted to educate people about how, you see, my point always is people to be together.
Yes.
You know, people to work together, people to rise up together, people to help each other. I always talk about the common man, you know, a person that is always struggling, you know, not really a common. I talk about people. I like to motivate people, to inspire people, to give energy to people.
Yes, and, that's always a positive thing.
Yeah, and when I was writing this book, I was thinking about the world. I was thinking about what's going on around the world, what's going on around my environment, you know, and what's going on in my own life. You know, it was, the whole book is a reflection of my own life, but then the reflection of other people's lives.
Wow.
You know, so it was just a combination of everything, really. And back then, there was America was invading Iraq, I think. And I wanted to speak about it. I was so against it. I was so totally against it. And and I used to watch TV and see all these kids getting blown up and all that kind of stuff.
Yes, that was a terrible time. That
was a really terrible time. So for me, I kept saying I want to be alive. I want to be alive long enough to see this war ending. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to write about it. I want to get people to actually see what's really going on, you know. So the book, it was a combination of so much, but very much to do with me enlightening people, me energizing people, me talking about the struggles that people are going through every single day. And you don't have to be in a war situation to see what other person is going through. In this book, it takes you right in, gets you very engaged.
Yes, so you can know. But I mean, I guess if someone else wants to relate to the situation, they can have a look at that book and get a copy, have a read, and have a look at a bit more what Mr. Kennedy Mathias has wrote in there. I wanted to ask this: where do you get your inspiration? I mean, when you sit down, is it a quiet room? Is it, I don't know. Where do, because I've seen lots of poets who say, I like to write after a long day, and then they find a quiet spot. Or do words just come to you, or do you find yourself in a certain place? Is there always a certain place for you to be in, for you to start writing? Or
that's a good question. Well, I think poetry is not silence.
Oh yes.
You know.
Yeah.
Poetry is noise. I cannot be hiding myself to make good poetry. You know, I have to be around people.
That's a very good point.
You know, I have to be around people. People must make hell a lot of noise for me to hear. You know,
That's
for me to hear what hell is going on in their lives. You know, if you're quiet there, how am I gonna know what's going on? How am I gonna write anything about you? You know, what inspires me every day is the moment of life. You know. The moment of life, you know, how we can be here, a poem will come up in my head, you know. This moment inspires me.
Oh wow, that reminds me of a poem that you have wrote.
Yeah.
Hiding in all that class.
Yeah, that's a beautiful poem, yeah.
I guess that goes back to where you say that you get inspired by things around you.
Yeah.
That hiding in all that class you were writing about a certain lady.
Yeah.
Is this a lady you've met, or is this a lady you've seen, or is it? Tell us a bit more about hiding in all that class. I'm gonna ask nicely Kennedy to post this one on Facebook. Follow him on Facebook, and you can have a read at Hiding in All That Class. I find it very inspirational. I've read it earlier before the show, and I must say it is food for thought. That was my first comment when I first saw it. And add him on Facebook right here. Here's his Facebook link. Add him, follow him, have a look at his poems. He posts some lovely words on there. You do not want to miss it. Go ahead and have a read. So, going back to Hiding in All That Class.
It was at night.
It's definitely about a lady.
Yeah, it was at night. I was bored at home.
Mm-hmm.
I took my car and I was like, let me just go for a drive around. Somehow, there's this pub close to where I live, and I decided to just go around there, just have a drink. And while I was in this pub, there was two women sitting on the other side, and two other guys sitting on this side. Actually, not even sitting, standing, just focusing on these women, trying to cause trouble to these women.
Oh God.
Yeah. Trying to chat them up and all that kind of stuff. It wasn't working anyway. So I was there with my glass of whiskey, and for some reason I saw this beautiful woman in her 50s, and I was there looking at her, just really staring at her, and I was just writing a poem in my head.
Wow.
Just really staring, and the only thing I kept thinking about was how beautiful she is, how much class she really has. And I think subconsciously, there was a movie I was watching beforehand, an hour before I came out of my house. It was about successful women, like proper successful women, above the age of 50, who are giving up, all of a sudden something happens in their career, and they feel like, oh my gosh, it's all coming down. And while I was looking at this woman, I was thinking about everything else, you know what I mean? It's just like, and the point I wanted to really raise to this woman, I didn't really approach her and say, listen, I'm writing about this.
Yes.
I was more like, she can be anybody, she can do anything. Our life is not ending because of her age.
Yes.
Age is just there. There's a friend of mine who said, I was complaining about me aging. I said, you buy old cars that are a bit older. I said, yeah, I wouldn't mind a car that's 6 years, 7 years old. Yeah. I say, why do you buy the car? Because I like the car. But do you ever think because it's that old then it's worthless? It's like, no, if the car looks good, the car looks good. So that's exactly what happens with people.
Exactly.
Age can be there. You can't stop age. Age is just a moment of time. If you're beautiful, you're beautiful. You have your body, you've got your energy. That's what you need in life.
Wow.
And
That's
the
really
point
good.
hiding all that class is more like saying you've achieved so much in life. Like, all that class that your manners, your personality, your upkeep, everything, you got nice cars, nice house, whatever, it's your life. Everything that's within your class is actually your life. Wow. You don't have to go to somewhere else to ask for help and say, I'm feeling sorry about myself today, this and that is going on, because within your own environment is where your answers are. Is where you can find the solutions to your life. Your life today, everything. See, you're a class lady.
Thank you.
Everything is hiding within all that class. All that beauty, everything you've ever achieved in your life is hiding within that. If ever you reach at a position in life where you feel you're falling down, you're not getting where you're going, look back to yourself. Even take your watch out. Maybe the answer is right there.
Yeah, so the answer is around
the answer is around you. That kind of thing.
And which people tend to look further?
I have to say, people tend to look far for answers.
Yeah.
Which is a really good point. All you have to do is look around you.
Yeah.
We tend to forget, don't we? We tend to aim so far ahead. We
aim to think somewhere else. Whereas really we just have to look around ourselves. Some things to listen to there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. We have a very special guest, Channelle.
Yay.
Thank you and welcome to the show. You look very classy today.
Thank
You're very classy. Tell me, do you like fashion?
Yes,
What do you like about fashion?
it's nice.
It is nice. You definitely look good in it. Is pink your favourite colour?
Yes,
You look beautiful in it. So tell me, what would you like to share today, Channelle?
about fashion.
Fashion. Would you like to tell us a bit more about it?
Well, it's nice and it's colour.
It's colourful. And you can make it anyhow and wear it anyhow and exercise it anyhow you want.
You could wear whichever one you want and you can make different colours of them.
Wow. Would you like to do some fashion when you grow older? Would you like to make your own dresses and make your own pretty hats?
Yes.
Wow. What do you think you would call them? What would you call them? Channelle. You already have a very expensive name.
I don't know, but I think I'll colour.
Oh. You probably have to think about that, didn't you? When you probably grow older.
Channelle.
Channelle. That's a beautiful name. It sounds very expensive. I think I want that too. I want a pretty dress called Channelle. You're gonna make mine with a load of glitters on it. I like glitter. Thank you so much for coming today. So Channelle, what would you like to do today in this world? What would you think you'd like to do? Maybe to help children, anything like that, do you think?
Help children.
Children. Oh, do you like children?
Yes.
Yes. How would you like to help them?
When they worry
Mm-hmm.
and other things.
Yeah. Because there's loads of children in this world, isn't there, that would like some help? Yeah. Oh, well done, Channelle. And I think you're going to make a very good, very cool fashion designer, because I can see you've got some lovely gloves. Let's see. Let's see your gloves. Let's have a look. Wow, you look beautiful, very classy. Where did you get this dress from? I think I want one.
From an African designer.
Wow, did she make this dress herself?
Yeah.
Oh, would you like to do that when you're older? Make dresses as well?
Yeah.
Wow, would you use a lot of pretty colours? Where would you like to put your dresses? Do you want them in a shop? Or do you want to make them for people? Or what do you think you want to do?
Make them for people.
Yes?
Yeah.
And see them on the catwalk? Do you like taking pictures?
Yeah.
Do you like modelling?
Yeah.
Do you think you want to be a model too?
Yeah.
Wow! Like, is there some model you know that you really like? Can't think of one. I can't think of one either. Well done. Thank you so much for coming to the show, Channelle. And we hope to see you soon and we wish you all the best. And I think we're going to have you back in the show in a few years and you are going to have all these clothes to show us and all these things to show us, because I can tell you're going to do very, very well. Good luck. Thank you so much. Thank you. What else would you like to do?
Help people.
Wow. Help people. Now we're hearing this from a very young child who's thinking of helping people. Tell us, how would you like to help other people?
People like people who worry.
Wow, people who worry. Does that make you sad when people worry? Is that why you'd like to help them? Wow. So tell us, how do you think you're gonna help them? How will you help these people?
I might help them if somebody couldn't do something, I could do it.
Wow. So if somebody couldn't do something, you'll help them by doing it that for them.
Yeah.
Like, let's say, if someone didn't have food, you would help them by giving them food. Is that sort of thing you'd like to do?
Yeah.
What else? What kind of thing?
If somebody didn't have a home, we could find a home.
Wow. So you'd help people with homes?
Yeah.
Wow. This is coming from a very young child in the spotlight, and she's actually considering and thinking about other people at such a young age. And I'm just thinking, this is very touching, because we don't see this very often, where a child comes out and say, you know, thinking about other people, not only food but also shelter. Very inspiring. Thank you so much, Miss Channelle. Thank you so much for coming, Chantal, to the studio today. What else would you like to do?
I would like to be a musical person.
A musical person. Does music make you happy? Do you
Yes.
dance a lot to music?
Yeah.
Are you a good dancer?
Yeah.
Oh wow, see, I'm not a good dancer. She's already better than me dancing. Very well. Would you like to model? Because you look so beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, you'd like to be a model. You like cameras and taking pictures.
Yeah.
Well, I think she will be a brilliant model. You look very beautiful.
Thank
Where did you get this beautiful dress from?
From my dad's friend in
Wow.
Africa.
In Africa. Did she make it especially for you?
Yeah.
Would you like to make dresses when you're older? Do you like making things?
Yes.
What else do you like doing?
I like making things with paper.
Wow, so you're very artistic. I think that's coming from Daddy. That's beautiful. You have a very bright future ahead, and you're doing great. And I'm sure you're gonna come back to the studio in a few years with load of dresses, load of gowns, and load of music. Thank you so much for coming to the show. Now let's move on to Dad, our poet, Kennedy Mathias. Is there anything you would like to share with the people today? Any message?
Well, recently I've been writing a few more books.
Mm-hmm.
They're more like life coaching, and there's one called Choices.
Choices.
About people making the right choices at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
This other book is very. I haven't got an idea of what name I'm gonna give it to.
Right.
What sort of name? It's just that it's about the direction, the power of direction.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel very strongly that, you see, nowadays people think, and this is a really good message you want to send to people.
Mm-hmm.
People think when you've reached over 25,
Mm-hmm.
30, 40, then you've grown up enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think even if you're 90 years old, you're still not grown up enough.
Right.
You know, and the reason being is life and the world offers so much for you to learn. You will die even having achieved learning most of the things that are there
Mm-hmm.
in your life. You know, which means we shouldn't be ignoring people because, you know, older generation, meaning not so much old, even
Mm-hmm.
in your 30s, whatever. You know, when people are going through different issues and say, oh, they're childish or whatever, no, we should really be concerned about what we're going
Why
through.
they're acting like
You know,
so,
yeah, because even though they're grown up, they're not really that grown up
Mm-hmm.
because there's so much to learn. What you know already, what you've learned already in life, does not mean other people have learned it already.
Mm-hmm.
What you've experienced in life already does not mean other people have experienced it already.
Exactly.
You can read as many books about different things, but when life hits you, is life. It's not a book hitting you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's real life. You know, and this is why my message has always been about people being together,
Mm-hmm.
because there's so much energy around each other.
I guess we can say there's also so much to learn.
Yeah, so
around
much.
each
Yeah,
other.
around. Yeah, and it's important for us to care about other people. Very, very important. You know, I teach this to my daughter as well. I teach to whenever I meet other people around, and I say, you know, really be caring, because people, we all very much lonely in our hearts. You know, when you're born alone, you're gonna die alone. You know, we're all very much individuals. We just by ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, and we all need somebody else to excel to the next level, to actually feel better, because life is huge.
Indeed.
You know, life is bigger than us. Life is bigger than me and you. You know,
Indeed.
and the more when you realize that, you end up realizing that the other person who is experiencing life as much as you are is going through a different. You don't have to be told whether they're rich or poor, whatever, they're going through some difficulty in their lives, because they're learning as well as much as you are learning.
Yeah.
You know, so that level of caring has to be there. You know, you have to be there to care about other people. You know.
Very good message.
Yeah. I also talk about the world at this moment now. You know, everybody's crying. There are no jobs. The economy is down.
Yes, there's a lot happening, a lot of controversy, a lot of poverty, a lot of things happening.
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
world at the
and
moment.
you know, we have in countries fighting now, occupying other territories and stuff,
Yes.
and all of this is affecting people's lives. It's affecting our minds. You know, what we see on TV affects us every single day.
Indeed.
You know, and if you're earning a very low wage, you've got a family, big family, you don't know where you're going, you got children going to school, you're thinking, gosh, how am I gonna, you're in your 20s, you know, you got children already, or you're married already, you're thinking, am I really gonna do that the way my parents did it? Am I really gonna have income, not income, any savings in my account? What have I prepared for the future? You worried about this,
worry a
yeah.
lot.
Now, we are in this generation right now where everybody's worrying about the same thing, you know, because we feel the opportunities that our parents had before are no longer there with us. There's a hell of a lot more competition now. We feel right now, even if you have 2 degrees, you have a master's degree, all that kind of stuff, you're still not gonna get a job.
Yeah.
You know, we feel we're not sure of ourselves. That's the problem. Everybody's not sure of themselves, you know. And my message out there is, you know what? Yes, we're not sure of ourselves, but does it mean there are really no chances for us? Does it mean we can't overcome whatever we're experiencing? See, as the world is changing, the world is changing for better, and the world is changing for worse. We can be in a better position if we want to. Let the world change for worse around us, but we are in the center. We are human beings. We got more brains than the animals. We focus. We make things, you know. So let us be at the center and change what's around us. You know, because I feel the opportunity is there for us now because the world has progressed. You know, the technological advancements have changed us. You know, now we've got WhatsApp, we've got Twitter, Facebook, whatever. You know, and the more we socialize, the more we are in a position of accepting others. The more we're in a position to communicate real fast. And that is the best thing for us. Which means, you know, I wrote somewhere on my Facebook. I use Facebook because it's more personal.
Yes.
You know, I wrote somewhere and saying, we are the new community. You know, success in life has patterns. And those patterns always change. You know, You see people in their 60s, they had their own limitations. You know, they saw a person who was, let's say, a young person, 25-year-old, in 1960 or 1860s, yeah, had different ideas that probably would not have achieved for the next 20 years, next 50 years. You know, that person had limitations that a person in this day and age won't have, because those patterns of success have changed. You know,
That is very true. That is very
you know what I mean?
true.
Where you are now, you have different patterns. Yeah. Where you were 5 years ago, 3 years ago, there are different patterns of success. Where each door you knock is closed. Every person you call will hang up on you. You know. Right now, think of a different idea, or think of the very same idea you had. Try it again now. You know, any business idea you had before, try it again now. Because patterns of success are changing and ever changing. This is the world. The world is always moving. You know, and our ideas are moving with the world. You know, our personalities, our individualism is all that is moving with the world. We are on a constant move. You know, and once we use that kind of energy, we accept that we're actually moving. It's so easy to believe in ourselves. You know. Because every day you realize, okay, this month is not working. You know what? Let me try next month.
Yes.
This week is not working. Let me try next week. Because next week a different pattern.
In other words, never give up.
Yeah, don't give up. You know, and like always see that you're not stupid.
Exactly.
You're not foolish. You know, when you fail, you fail. Forget it. There's
Get
another
up
time.
again.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, that kind of thing. So that's the kind of thinking I want to give to your viewers. Like, think differently. Like, think that you are in a world right now where opportunities are there for you. You are in a world right now where you can get exactly to where you're going. Your ideas are more will offer you the access to the things that you want. Because previously other people could not have that kind of access. You know, so that kind of thing. I know it's very
Thank you
intense.
so
It's
much.
just I think
No.
I'm being myself.
No, it's
You know,
very
it's all
good.
coming out.
I think we
You
all
know?
needed to hear that. Just like you said, we learn from people around us. And right now, someone is sitting down. Who knows what kind of a day they had? Maybe that's exactly what they needed to hear. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for that message. Thank you for joining us in the spotlight. We'll see you again soon, right here on Progress TV. Thank you for viewing.
This is Miss Kennedy Mathias, a writer, author, poet. I'm here on Progress TV, on Ntombi's show. It's a beautiful show. Please always watch it on Progress TV.